Hello everyone! Welcome back to Everyday English Learning, real conversations for everyday confidence.
Hi, I'm Jake.
And I'm Lily. Today we are talking about finding your natural speaking rhythm.
I definitely need this. I drank way too much coffee this morning.
I can tell. But that energy is perfect for what we are doing.
That is good to hear.
A lot of people know the grammar and the vocabulary perfectly.
Right.
But when they open their mouths to speak, the words feel stiff.
That is my exact problem.
It feels a bit robotic.
I practice a sentence in the shower, and it sounds amazing.
And then you try to say it at work?
Exactly. I sound like a GPS giving driving directions. It is frustrating.
That is completely normal. Your brain is working hard to translate.
It takes so much energy.
It does. But you do not need to catch every single word today.
That is always a relief.
Just follow the feeling. Today we are using a technique called shadowing to fix that stiffness.
Shadowing? Like following a person around?
Kind of. It means repeating spoken English out loud to catch the real rhythm.
Okay, that sounds practical.
Useful phrases will appear naturally as we practice this habit together.
I am ready.
We will also have our meaning moments later. Have you ever felt silly practicing pronunciation alone?
Oh, definitely. I practice in my parked car, and I always hope no one is looking.
People often study English the same way they study math.
You memorize the rules and you hope to pass a test.
Yes, but speaking is not a written test. It is a physical activity.
It definitely feels physical. Sometimes my jaw actually gets tired.
Your mouth is literally making new shapes and movements.
And my brain is sweating trying to keep up.
Think about your favorite song for a second.
Okay, I have a good one in my head.
You can read the lyrics of that song on a piece of paper.
Sure, I could read them out loud like a serious poem.
But reading the lyrics is not the same as singing the song.
Not at all. Reading is flat. Singing has emotion and timing.
Exactly. When you study a textbook, you are just reading the lyrics.
Oh, I see. And speaking naturally is actually singing the song.
Yes. And shadowing is like singing along with the original artist in your car.
I do that a lot, usually when the windows are rolled up.
That is the safest place for it.
So, with shadowing, I am trying to match the artist's voice.
You are trying to catch the rhythm. You match their timing and their energy.
That makes sense. But wait, songs have music to follow. English is just talking.
English has its own music. We stress certain words and hide other words.
I know what you mean. The small words always disappear when native speakers talk.
Shadowing trains your physical mouth to make those exact same disappearing sounds.
That sounds great in theory, but my tongue gets tied when I actually try.
That is normal friction. Your brain knows the vocabulary, but your muscles are slow.
Yesterday I was watching a video about making coffee at home.
Okay, what happened?
The guy said, just pour the water over the grounds.
And you tried to pause the video and repeat it?
Yes, and it felt terrible. I said, just pour the water.
You pronounced every single word equally.
Yes, it sounded very stiff, like a robot making coffee.
That word stiff is perfect here. It means something is rigid and does not bend easily.
My spoken English definitely felt rigid. It did not flow at all.
That is because you were using your reading brain, not your listening ears.
I mean, I have to think about the words to say them, right?
Not necessarily. That is the magic of shadowing.
Now I am confused. How can I say something without thinking about the words?
You focus entirely on the sound. You copy the melody even if you miss letters.
That feels wrong to me. I usually stop the video if I miss one word.
We are taught to understand everything perfectly before we move forward.
Yes, that is exactly how school works.
But shadowing builds muscle memory instead of perfect grammar.
Muscle memory. Like learning to ride a bike?
Exactly. Your body remembers how to balance without calculating the physics.
So my mouth remembers how to say, pour the water naturally.
Yes, you give your translating brain a break.
I would love to give my translating brain a vacation.
If these gentle perspective shifts help you feel a bit more relaxed, consider subscribing to our channel.
We like to make English feel a little less heavy here.
Let's go back to your coffee video.
Right, the robot barista.
Shadowing stops you from reading the invisible subtitles in your head.
It connects my ears directly to my mouth.
Yes, you might have to exaggerate the sounds at first to feel the rhythm.
Like an actor practicing for a stage play?
You copy the emotion and the energy, not just the text.
Feeling silly is usually the step right before learning something new.
That is a very mature way to look at it.
I can accept feeling ridiculous for 5 minutes, especially if it stops me from sounding robotic.
We talked earlier about feeling ridiculous, and honestly, that is the main reason people quit shadowing.
I completely understand why. You are sitting alone, talking to your phone, and pretending to be someone else.
It does feel a little strange at first.
Very strange. I always check to make sure my car windows are rolled up.
But there is a second reason people give up before it works.
Let me guess. The speakers are just too fast.
Yes, they pick a video, press play, and try to shadow the entire 5-minute conversation.
I have definitely fallen into that trap.
What were you trying to listen to?
I was making breakfast and trying to repeat a comedy podcast.
How long did you last?
About 10 seconds. The host started speaking faster, and I completely lost my place.
That is completely overwhelming for your brain.
It was. I was trying to talk and pour milk, and I almost spilled everything.
You were trying to process the meaning, the grammar, and the speed all at once.
Yes, I felt like I was running behind a train trying to catch it.
That is a great image. But shadowing is not a marathon.
So I shouldn't try to keep up with the whole show?
No, it is not a race to finish the video.
Okay, so what is the realistic way to practice this?
You find one short sentence, maybe 3 to 5 seconds long.
Just 5 seconds? That feels like I am not doing enough work.
5 seconds is plenty. You pause the video and you loop those 5 seconds.
You mean I just listen to the same short sentence over and over?
Exactly. You listen to the melody and you mimic it 10 times.
Mimic it? Like a parrot?
Sort of. But you are noticing the human rhythm, not just copying empty sounds.
I mean, I can repeat a short sentence, but there is another problem for me.
What happens when you try to loop it?
When I mimic the speaker's exact tone, I feel completely fake.
Can you explain that feeling a bit more?
Let's say the speaker is super confident and polite. Like, would you mind sending that over?
That is a very natural workplace phrase.
Right. But if I say it with that big, friendly melody, it does not feel like my voice.
You feel like you are acting.
Exactly. I feel like a bad actor playing the role of a business person.
That is the emotional friction of shadowing.
It feels unnatural. My brain tells me, you do not talk like this.
Your brain is trying to protect your old speaking habits.
It is definitely protecting something. I usually stop practicing when I feel that way.
But you have to step out of your comfort zone to break that stiff, robotic feeling.
So that uncomfortable feeling means my mouth is actually doing something new?
Yes, you have to let go of your natural speaking habits for just a few seconds.
Letting go is hard when you spend all day worrying about mistakes.
And that is exactly why shadowing is a safe space.
Because nobody is actually listening to me?
Exactly. You can get tongue-tied in your car, and it does not matter at all.
I definitely get tongue-tied. My tongue literally forgets how to move.
But if you do not push through that weird feeling in private, the stiffness stays with you.
I know that feeling too well.
What happens when you carry that stiffness into a real conversation?
I stay quiet. I know the grammar, but it feels physically heavy to speak.
So you just nod and listen to the other people.
Yeah, I have great ideas in a meeting, but I swallow the words because my mouth feels frozen.
And that is the real cost of staying in your comfort zone.
Wow, that hits very close to home.
Shadowing is how you melt that frozen feeling before the meeting even starts.
It is like warming up before exercising.
Yes, when you practice that confident rhythm alone, it leaves a physical trace.
A trace? Like a memory in my muscles?
Yes, so when you actually ask for something at work, that smooth rhythm is available to you.
I do not have to search my brain for the right melody.
Exactly. You do not have to fake it in the real moment because you already practiced the feeling.
That makes a lot of sense. The practice feels fake, so the real conversation can feel genuine.
It smooths out the rough edges. It gives you a physical bridge between knowing a word and saying a word.
I really like that idea. A physical bridge.
But there is one important limitation to remember here.
Oh? What is the catch?
You do not need perfect native pronunciation for this to work.
That is a huge relief, because my mouth simply cannot make certain sounds.
You are practicing the flow, the pauses, and the stress.
So, the rhythm is actually more important than the exact vowel sounds?
Yes, a natural rhythm with an accent is easier to understand than perfect vowels spoken rigidly.
I never thought about it that way. I always worried about my accent.
Your accent is part of your identity. We just want to make the words flow together naturally.
I can handle being a little dramatic alone, as long as I do not spill my coffee again.
We talked about finding the rhythm, but there is one huge mistake people make when they start.
Let me guess, they picked the wrong video.
Yes, they pick a video of a fast-talking news anchor or an intense action movie.
Oh, I have done that. I tried to shadow a lawyer from a TV drama once.
How did that feel?
Terrible. I was yelling in my kitchen and pointing at my refrigerator.
That is exactly what you want to avoid.
It felt like I was learning how to argue, not how to talk.
That is a very important contrast. Shadowing is not about becoming a completely different person.
So I should not practice my dramatic courtroom speeches?
Probably not for everyday life.
But they speak so perfectly on television.
They speak perfectly for a script. But real life does not sound like a movie.
That is true. Real life has awkward pauses.
Exactly. You want to find someone whose pace matches your real personality.
My natural pace is relaxed. I do not talk fast in my native language.
Then do not shadow someone who speaks at lightning speed in English.
That is actually a huge relief.
Why is that a relief?
I always thought fluency meant speaking as fast as humanly possible.
That is a very common myth. People think speed equals skill.
Yes, When I hear a fast speaker, I immediately feel like my English is broken.
But rushing actually destroys your pronunciation. The words just crash into each other.
They definitely do. I try to speak fast in meetings, and no one understands me.
Fluency is about smooth flow, not raw speed.
Smooth flow. I like that. It sounds much less stressful than a race.
Think about who you actually want to sound like at work or in daily life.
I want to sound calm, like I know what I am talking about without rushing.
Then you need to find a podcast host or a speaker who already sounds like that.
And I just borrow their rhythm for a few minutes a day.
Exactly. You borrow their rhythm until it starts to feel like your own voice.
That feels much more authentic to who I am.
It is. The ultimate goal of learning a language is not to put on a mask.
Right. It is to take the mask off and just be myself.
And being yourself means accepting that you will still make mistakes.
Even if I shadow perfectly in my car every morning?
Yes. Because real conversations are completely unpredictable. You cannot script them.
That is the scary part. Sometimes I am doing fine, and then my mind just goes blank.
What do you usually do when that happens?
I panic. I try to force the words out, and I end up sounding stiff again.
There is a much softer way to handle that moment.
I definitely need a softer way.
When your mind goes blank, you do not have to hide it.
But it feels embarrassing to just stop talking while everyone stares at me.
It feels heavy, but native speakers lose their words all the time.
I guess that is true. I do that in my native language too, especially when I am tired.
Exactly. You just need a natural phrase to buy yourself a few seconds.
Something better than just saying, for 10 seconds?
Yes. You can simply say, I lost my train of thought.
I lost my train of thought. That sounds very visual.
It is. It means your idea was moving like a train, and it suddenly went off the tracks.
I feel like my train goes off the tracks at least twice a day.
And that is perfectly fine.
So I just say that phrase and take a deep breath?
Yes. Or if you need to try again, you can say, let me start over.
Let me start over. I really like that one.
Why does that one help?
It gives me permission to reset the rhythm. I do not have to fix the broken sentence.
Exactly. You leave the broken sentence behind and build a new one.
That feels like a safety net.
It is. A good phrase acts like a safety net when the rhythm completely breaks down.
Because the rhythm will definitely break down sometimes.
It will. Knowing how to recover gracefully is just as important as knowing how to speak.
That makes the whole process feel so much lighter. I do not have to be a perfect machine.
You really do not. You just need to show up and try the feeling.
I can definitely show up, even if my mouth feels a little lazy sometimes.
We all have lazy mouth days. That is why the quiet practice matters.
You shadow when it is quiet, so you have the muscle memory when it is loud.
That is a beautiful way to summarize it.
Thank you. I am feeling much more prepared to try this tomorrow morning.
You are building a great toolkit today. You have the shadowing habit for practice.
And the safety net phrases for when my brain freezes in the middle of a sentence.
And most importantly, you are learning to do it with your own authentic voice.
Not the angry lawyer's voice.
Right. Leave the angry lawyer in the television show.
I think my kitchen appliances will appreciate that.
I am sure they will. We have used some really great expressions today to talk about this rhythm.
We really have. I noticed a few phrases that I definitely want to write down.
Perfect. Let's look at those useful words before we finish up today.
I am ready when you are.
We talked about some powerful ideas today, and I want to look closely at the language we used.
I am ready. There were definitely some phrases I want to remember.
These are expressions that help you talk about the physical feeling of speaking English.
And the emotional feeling too, honestly.
Let's start with the word you used to describe that robotic speaking habit. Stiff.
Yes. My mouth just feels completely frozen when I try to speak perfectly.
Stiff means something is firm and does not bend easily, like a brand new pair of shoes.
Or my English before I have my morning coffee.
Exactly. But emotionally, it also means acting very formal because you feel uncomfortable.
Like when you meet someone new and you do not know how to act.
Yes, a conversation can feel stiff if neither person is relaxed.
Or if someone is just terrified of making a grammar mistake.
Exactly. The fear makes the whole interaction rigid.
I definitely want my conversations to feel less stiff.
Repeat. Stiff.
Stiff.
Now, what happens to you physically when that pressure hits?
I usually cannot get the words out. My brain knows them, but my mouth refuses to work.
That physical reaction is called being tongue-tied.
That is such a great image. It literally feels like my tongue is tied in a knot.
We use this when nervousness or embarrassment stops you from speaking.
Does it only happen when you are speaking a second language?
Not at all. Native speakers get tongue-tied when they are nervous.
Like trying to make small talk with the CEO in the elevator?
That is the perfect example. It happens to everyone.
Or when a barista asks a surprising question and you just freeze.
Yes, any sudden pressure can cause it.
That makes me feel a lot less alone.
Repeat tongue-tied.
Tongue-tied.
And what happens in your head right before you get tongue-tied?
I just forget everything. It is like the TV screen simply turns off.
Yes, the phrase for that feeling is to go blank.
Because a blank screen has absolutely nothing on it.
Exactly. It means your memory is suddenly empty.
Can I just say my memory went empty?
You could, but to go blank is much more natural for this sudden feeling.
What if I just slowly forget a word over time?
Then you just say you forgot. To go blank happens in a split second.
Oh, I see. It is the panic of a sudden empty brain.
Exactly. So you could say, I walked into the meeting and my mind went blank.
I will definitely need that phrase.
Repeat. To go blank.
To go blank.
When your mind does go blank, you need a graceful way to handle it.
Without sounding like I am completely panicking.
Right. That is where we use the phrase, to lose your train of thought.
Is this phrase okay to use in a serious professional meeting?
It is very common and completely polite for the workplace.
Oh, good. Because it sounds much better than just staring at the wall.
It shows you are calm enough to admit a small human mistake.
Like, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Where were we?
That was a perfectly natural example. You even caught the relaxed melody.
Thank you. I was pretending to be a calm business person.
It worked. The polite tone makes the mistake feel very small.
It definitely takes the pressure off.
Repeat. To lose your train of thought.
To lose your train of thought.
Having a phrase like that ready to go acts as a safety net.
That is the thing they use in a circus, right? To catch the acrobats?
Yes, a safety net is anything that protects you from a bad result.
So my practiced phrases catch me when my rhythm fails.
Exactly. It gives you emotional security.
You can also use it for money, right?
Yes, having savings is a financial safety net if you lose your job.
I need an English safety net and a financial one.
Let's focus on the language one today.
Let me try it. Shadowing every day is my safety net for big meetings.
That sounds very clear.
Good to know, and it feels true too.
It takes the fear out of speaking when you know something will catch you.
I wish I had known that earlier.
Repeat, safety net.
Safety net.
We covered some really useful tools for handling real-life pressure today.
I feel much better having them in my back pocket.
I have a small reflection question for you, and for anyone listening.
I am ready.
What is one English phrase that you already feel completely confident using?
Oh, that is an interesting question. For me, it is definitely the phrase, "let me start over."
That is a wonderful safety net to have.
I would love to read what other people choose for their confident phrase.
Finding your natural speaking rhythm takes a little patience, but it really is worth the effort.
It definitely is. I am looking forward to practicing without feeling like a robot making coffee.
Just remember to start small. Try 5 seconds of a voice you actually want to sound like.
And if my brain completely freezes tomorrow, I will just use my new safety net phrase.
Exactly. We would love to know what your confident safety net phrase is.
I will be reading them to get some good ideas for my next morning meeting.
Thank you for spending this time with us and trusting us with your daily practice.
We know that speaking a second language takes a lot of mental energy.
But you are doing a wonderful job. Just keep taking it one calm step at a time.
The stiffness goes away a little more every time you try.
Thank you for joining us here at Everyday English Learning.
It is always good to sit down and practice together.
I'm Lily.
And I'm Jake.
Take care, everyone.
Keep speaking, and we will see you next time.